Game on, everyone! We are in the semi-final, and this is the first one. Granit Gaming, after a 2-0 victory in the first round, is now going up against the Vikings, and Sky Temple is our first map. It's a little bit surprising to see Sky Temple as an early map. I mean, these days we rarely see the map in the first place, but as a first pick, this is a little bit unorthodox. I'm ready for it though. I mean, Granit Gaming, they've been the team that took the Vikings out successfully the last time. Actually, now that I think about it, I might be lying on that account. But yeah, Granit Gaming, I mean, they are the top dogs these days. There are a couple of other teams that definitely can hold a candle to them and take them down on a good day. We've seen Nothing Changed, for example, do exceptionally well here. But now that we're heading into our first game in this best-of-3 series, the question is just how much has the team around Marcus, Mexi and Wubby really grown together? The Swedes have been incredibly strong in the previous tournaments, but you could still tell that they need a little bit more synergy and mesh together in order to just compete against a team like Granit. Granit, on the other hand, Tracer banned out against Marker. Abathur banned, probably a good choice here. There's a lot of shenanigans you can pull off on Sky Temple. Samuro with Abathur just sniping buildings, the Tracer plays. And the Vikings are actually respect banning Zeratul again against Tai, which is what we see most of the time. So that is a pretty cool one. But what's the next ban here? Oh well, it's a Panda again. No real deviations away from the Panda ban. I mean, nobody really wants to go up against Chen. The problem is really that the level 10 is so unbelievably oppressive that you can just jump into the backline and completely murder your opponent's team very easily here. The backliners and the squishies are always under pressure, so nobody wants to go up against Chen if they can help it. So Chen still gets banned out. But at the same time now, the next question would be what Granit Gaming is up to. And they start things off with ETC again. ETC is just their flex pick. They can always shift it into the main tank position onto Lauba if they need to, but it's a great side laner for them as well. With the global, the stage dive is just fantastic, keeps the draft flexible, allows for good opening. Personally, I would expect that the Vikings are starting things off with a Malfurion pick again. Could see them even heading into that Tyrell once more. That Backhold has now picked twice in the last few games. It helps you with the fight over the boss too, but Maka wants his Li Ming, and he wants it quickly, so the Malfurion pick comes through as expected, but now we are having Li Ming for them and the potential resets on the cooldowns, and therefore the kill attempts through him. If he can bunny hop his way with a Calamity kill after another through the opponent's team, it would be that for them. With that also, we're having on the left team side the opportunity to now pick their own damage. There's a chance for Vala, and Vala is taken. Chris locks her in. So we have Henning on Rhaegar and Chris on Vala for the team. So a very solid setup here for Vala in particular, which could also lead now to a ban on, for example, Tassadar. I mean, Chris is obviously extremely strong on that hero, but the main question is just simply how the opponent is now going to react when it comes to that setup. If they're going to try and annihilate any opportunity for double support setup, they ban Zarya instead. I kind of like that. Now again, we've been talking about this in the previous games, that Vala can be played in a solo support setup. No problem anymore after the recent patch. But obviously, it's just incredibly good if you have that second support in it. Traditionally, that's Tassadar, but as I said all the time, Zarya works with it too. And if we've seen anything from Granit Gaming in the past, it's that they have an affinity for these Zarya plays. I mean, they were the team that literally played the Zarya-Vala setup before Vala got buffed. So even before that, they played it. So obviously, for them, this is still a fantastic setup. Now, the ban against Tyrael comes in as, again, Marker prioritized the Li Ming pick over the Tyrael pick that Backhold probably aimed for. We've seen Backhold with a lot of plays on Garrosh and Johanna, and he is going into the same playstyle again with Garrosh. Flip into Malfurion Root, maybe even a Silence here. Smexy on Greymane going for the big bad wolf against Red Riding Hood on the other side. And for me, what are we going to see on the last two picks here? I mean, Tai doesn't really have a hero yet. They still need an offlaner, obviously. We could see Tassadar getting picked here too. If they really want to go into the double support setup, that would be a solid pick for them for sure. Softening the targets up. But they go for Qhira again. Qhira played once more. Second time that we see the hero in the semi-professional stage. So on this level, it's only the second time that the hero has been picked. Johanna together with that. And the question is, can they take Qhira down, yes or no? There's a few stuns on the other side. Wubby still needs to pick his hero, so we're waiting for the offlaner here. And they now have to try and figure out, okay, how do we stop Ty from demolishing the team while Chris is from the backline just shooting arrow after arrow. And there's the Samuro pick. And that's exactly why you ban Abathar against the Vikings in this setup. If they would have gotten both, it would have been a disaster. Still can be dangerous considering how much you can take structures down with Samuro in the late game. But let's figure out who takes game number 1. Granit Gaming going up against the Vikings in the HeroesHype Premier Series. Game number 1, Granit Gaming against the Vikings, and we are on Sky Temple with Granit Gaming playing with Henning on Rhaegar, Lauber on Johanna, Ty on Qhira, we have Copenhagen on ETC, and Chris on Vala. On the other side of the map, for the red team, Berkult on Garrosh, Mak on Liming, Smexy on Greymane, Gia on Malfurion, and Wubby on Samuro in this game. Luckily for Granit Gaming, they banned out some Abathar, or this would have been a lot more difficult for them. This game, actually, a little bit of an adjustment here. We already have Qhira with the maximum effort, again, on level 1. And also, we've been talking about builds a lot, and I've actually talked about Vala in particular quite a bit, especially on Infernal Shrines, and mentioned the 2 builds that are quite common on the high level of play. Normally, Hot Pursuit into the multi-shot build is what you see on most maps outside of Battlefield of Eternity, especially when you're looking at maps like Infernal Shrines, for example, or any kind of wave clear map. But as I highlighted, you can play the arrow build also on some other maps, and one of those that I mentioned was about Volskaya Foundry. Now, in Volskaya Foundry you can play both builds, but the one map that I didn't mention, and where this actually applies to, is Sky Temple. Arrow build is working here as well, because you have the objective spawning outside of the minion lanes, and therefore the arrow gets a lot of value bouncing up between them. And if the rest of your team provides you with the wave clear that you need in order to control lanes, that's more than enough to really get that damage output there. There is even a hybrid build where you can go into Hot Pursuit on level 1 but still spec into the arrows. I mean, you don't lose out on too much, because obviously if you don't really need that, then it's a big ask there. But Chris loves his arrow build. I mean, he's the one who came up with that in the first place. He's the one who brought it, I think it was in 2018, into the professional play. 2017, my bad. Into professional play. It was played for a long time here. So he's going back to his roots and is playing the style now. At the same time, Qhira, as you just saw, already with very decent damage. So Ty is just trying to show the boys how it's done once again. And with the maximum effort on level 1, he was back into the same build that we've seen him use the previous tournament when he played it in the grand final. Now Wubby is all the way up at the top as Samuro against Kopmark, ETC, side laning here, as we said earlier. But down at the bottom of the map, we're currently having camps taken from both teams. So both of them with the Siege Giants. Ty is trying to also escape here and just goes for the little whirl. And uses the mobility to get out of harm's way, successfully I might add at this point. But obviously has to abandon the defense on those Siege Giants, which get taken out pretty quickly. With the level 4 abilities in action, that means that we're also seeing stacking continue, or starting up for Vala, who move towards the top right away, so that she can also stack against those minions, those illusions. The puncturing arrow for her, and again the upstage on Ty. Same build as we've seen last time. Talking about damage, by the way, it's Smexy at the bottom of the map that is in trouble. And with trouble, I mean he's dead. Yep, that's a nice kill here. I might have been able to walk away from one of the two, but definitely not from both of them. Good effort here from Granit Gaming, and it leads to a first kill for the blue team, as they're also pushing through the top lane, breaking down the gate and the tower. So already a really nice setup here for them, where they get a lead in structures, which is absolutely crucial on a map like Sky Temple. So with one kill, the slight lead in experience, and now the temples activating. We're seeing them in the lead at the bottom of the map. We're having Kopmark going for some damage. He's obviously going to be the global hero later in the game, but not just yet. The kill against Qhira, but Li Ming has also died here. So a trade in kills, as we're seeing that for now. And the rotation towards the temples has also started. Up towards the top, we're seeing the blue team successfully holding on to the top. But in the middle of the map, we're having Garrosh doing the exact same thing for his team. The kill count is still pretty close here, but you can see that it's a whole different ball game going up against Granit Gaming for the Vikings, as if you compare that to the previous game that they played against Go Next, where they had a much easier time. When it comes to the Whoopster, he went in terms of talents straight into the way of the blade on level 1 and then into the deflection here on level 4. A little bit of aggression against Lauber as he's transitioning into the middle, but the two temples pretty much exchanged without any real efforts. The fort at the top has fallen now, which grants catapults in every third wave. And we're having in the middle also an attempt to take this one down on the other side, which hasn't quite worked out just yet. In terms of talents, we're continuing with the Thirst. The first time that we're actually seeing him deviate away from this. In the last game, he went into his Blood Rage talent on level 7 too. But this time a slight deviation from Tai in terms of his Qhira build, as he's heading into the Thirst now right away. With the rest of the level 7 talents, we're not only seeing the repeating arrow for Vala, which is going to help Chris get his stacks together, but obviously Cleanse on Rhaegar, another fantastic tool, and Calamity. So now the action is going to start slowly and steadily to rise up, especially with level 10 abilities coming up next. But even with those level 7 plays, we could see a lot happening here. Talking about seeing things happen, this is a decent push at the bottom of the map. It's actually a really nice one. This could definitely lead into a few structures taken out. Tai coming in once again with the damage attempt. This time there's a nice rotation against him though. And could lead also, well, maybe not to a kill, there's not enough around. Chris actually for a second trying to move back here. And then sticking around with the team. At this point, it's pretty much level 10 that you're aiming for. And level 10 usually drops around the time that we also have the bottom temple announced, which is why Copenhagen is now in the top lane. Now guys, if you play this map and you play it on a competitive level, amateur level, doesn't really matter. If you have a global in your team, you want the global hero to be at the top before the second objective starts, because that will allow you to soak an additional wave before the hero makes its way down to the bottom of the map. You normally don't use the global to just Hearthstone back and then global into the lane again. You want to get value out of this. And the global hero will allow you to stay longer on the other side of the map, far away from the objective before you make that move. And here's the ETC stage dive, as expected. Also the final strike that we're having, plus strafe, so nice damage output now on the side of the blue team. Whereas the red team still has to go for the experience, and that's what they're trying to get right now, but they have to give up the bottom of the map. Temple under the control of Granit Gaming. Bit of a fight in the middle as we're having Lauber going up against Smexy. And at the top side, Wubby slowly rotating down. But here's Copenhagen still getting the experience for his team. As we're having the Vikings slowly starting to get the value at the bottom of the map and trying to force the opponent back here. Samuro is moving around, sending something in mid lane. Here comes the jump and the slide onto Malfurion. Insta kills against the old geezer with the green beard and the wolf. Red Riding Hood is fighting back hard here. Vala comes in and drops the wolf. Big bad wolf my ass. And Wubby then just says, alright, I'm gonna do what I can to at least minimize the damage, or at least get some value for us, and moves to the top lane after he takes down the fort in the middle of the map. But a nice execution here from Granit Gaming leads to a 4-kill lead for them right now, and a massive lead when it comes to structures on the map. Pretty significant one. And this is all that really matters here. The damage output, fantastic on the side of Samuro and also Li Ming, but the kills are just not there. Then you look on the other side of the map and you see that Qhira is currently holding the top damage for her own team. Wubby in the late game on Samuro can obviously be a game changer though. I mean, that is literally a hero that can decide the game by himself if he's played correctly, and Wubby definitely knows how to do that. Question is just how far do they fall behind here. Boss is getting in for a bit of action. Lauber gets actually attacked here. And we had the Blessed Shield thrown out too. It didn't really do too much for them here, but Lauber is still alive, and that's half the battle. That's what they were trying to do. The problem was really that stage dive and the power slide in the last fight, but it doesn't mean that the red team can't win any battles here. And they're gonna try and do that. So, down at the bottom of the map, Muck is still pushing this out. These guys have definitely not given up, far from it. And Samuro is doing his global thing, trying to push this away too, and especially taking down those catapults. That's the first objective for him. As the boss is now up, that's obviously a big point of contention too. But there's a lot of great talents that we're seeing for Granit Gaming, which could really ruin the day. Especially now that we're having level 13 advantage for the blue team. Which gives us now also the pulsing pain right here. 12 stacks, by the way, for Vala on her level 4, so the repeating arrow definitely helping. And all the way up to the top, Wubby is just sitting tight right now. The way of the blade, baby! So far, Samuro not getting a kill, but the fight now at the bottom of the map. Here comes the taunt. Stage dive is in. Lauber with a blessed shield. The slide, the kill. Li Ming is down. Samuro just barely coming in at the end of the fight, but it's already too late. Not even Tranquility could save anything. They were down in talents as it stands, and Granit Gaming is just a different beast. I mean, these guys are absolutely killing it right now. After Washed Up has turned into Washed France, there wasn't really too much that they could do in the past few tournaments to really get that #1 spot back. Obviously, nothing changes, also fighting for it, but Granit Gaming seems to be the top dog, at least for now. They've won the last tournament, and they're eager to make it to the grand final again. And this is in only the first game in the best of 3, but still. Already a bit of a zone as Lauber uses the shield glare to keep the opponent at bay and dropping them off the mounts. But topside, Samuro has to deal with the push. And in the meantime, at the bottom of the map, at least Muck is trying to make a play against the boss. They're looking to see if they can get at least one of the 2 temples. The problem for the red team is that he can't abandon everything. I mean, it's more or less, it's not even a checkmate position just yet, but Granit Gaming is working hard on creating one. They're getting both of the temples pretty much. They set a boss up on the map. They have a push coming through the top lane. So we are seeing the Vikings spreading themselves thin here, as they are trying to make a play somehow, but it's difficult. And now that Vala takes over the bottom temple again, well, Granit Gaming is just winning on all ends. I mean, it's just taking structures down the entire time, and this could even lead to them getting the first keep at the bottom of the map. And considering how many shots are left here, this is a very likely scenario. I mean, that boss still has done some damage, and it's gonna be close. I guess it's not gonna end with the keep falling, but it is incredibly close, so this should be up for grabs whenever they really want to. Things are not looking good for the Vikings. They're down 1.5 levels now, they're behind by 5 kills, and they've definitely suffered in every single fight since these stage dive approaches that we are seeing from Copenhagen are just out of this world. The team communicates it so well. They see a fight opportunity, they call ETC in, he gets the power slide in every single time, and then you have blessed shields being thrown out, Qhira coming in, strafe with the damage. They go for a kill though, and this time the Vikings are successful. That was a good one. They came out of nowhere and they take him down. 10,000 damage on Qhira, 10,000 damage on Vala, 18,000 on Li Ming, Samuro on 9 and Greyman on 11. They got the damage. They just don't have the kills. And a big part of that is really the global. It's honestly the global aspect of ETC, and this is exactly why it's such an early pick for them in the draft, because the flexibility that this pick allows them. Main hero, main tank, offlaner, allows them to just really react to the opponent's draft. But Samuro, as the map opens up, is going to be a factor here. And this is something that we've been harping on a little bit. And it could still be a big part of that. Keep in mind, there's no keep that has been destroyed yet. Yes, we got close at the bot lane. Very close. But the keeps aren't down yet. And all you need is level 16, even talents, win a fight or two, and all of a sudden we are back to business. Talking 16. The booming kick came in as a level 16 talent right here for Qhira. So going over the entire build, since this is obviously still the newest hero to the edition. So we went from maximum effort straight into upstage, into the thirst, final strike, pulsing pain, and booming kick for her. And with the 16 talents now ready for the opponent's team, amongst other things, we're also having the mirror ball taken. We're having mortal combo after the defensive measures. And a nice push at the top to go for this one, for the fort. Now there's a single altar on the map now, or will be a single shrine. Quest is completed. Backhold actually gets followed. Blessed shield, that could be a kill, and it is a kill. Final strike comes in, and Qhira takes down Garrosh. Granit Gaming, they just know how to get these kills. They know how to get them just as the perfect moment in time. Another temple comes in and they don't even have to fight for it. They don't even have to fight for this one. Yeah, it's tough. They still have the global with Wubby, but every single time that the fight might change the outcome of the game, they're losing a hero before the fight even starts. And now that leads to a big push at the top lane, even outside of the temple being taken. And with the wall destroyed, this is obviously a direct attack against the keep itself. So things are starting to completely fall apart here for the Vikings. They can still hold on to these structures for a bit longer, but the question is simply for how long can they really pull this off. Bot lane is going to push in against the fort as we're having Wubby retreat. It's a 5 versus 5 now, and they have to take these fights. They have to fight for it. They need to find something now. And they're going to try and make that happen. But it is tricky since Granit Gaming is slowly and steadily saying, why would we fight you? We have zero reason to fight you. What are you gonna do? Get a couple of shots in against one of our forts? Lul. We've nearly taken down 2 of your keeps already. We dictate when we fight. You're not gonna force it on us. If it's happening the other way around. Wubby comes in for just a second, but you can already tell how they're playing around the spell aura now too. Boss isn't up, there's not really too much to take. Keep at the top lane is down. Here comes the fight, and Wubby is dead. But the counter kill against ETC? Nah, Rhaegar pays attention. Koopmagen walks away. Backhold is trying the same, but he is not that lucky. Nope, it's not happening. Last few shots can be taken any second. ETC with a stage dive down to the bot lane. Yeah, why wouldn't you? At this point, he can use the ults however he wants to use them. Interesting to me that they still haven't taken the temple at the top, by the way. But now they can just try and go for additional wave clear. And they obviously are going to attempt to get the boss now and end the game. With 2 heroes down, nothing can stop them. Nothing can stop them at the boss. Granit Gaming is just too strong at this point. They're playing a fantastic game here on Sky Temple. Top lane is pushing 2, 1 catapult already pushing in. Boss just now claimed, so with level 20 talents in their hands, this is going to be an incredible strong setup. An incredible strong setup. And they're trying to go for the kill, and they're getting it easy peasy. Ming is down. Qhira now with a utility belt right here. And Vala with a far flight quiver. In addition to that, Storm Shield and the Radiating Fate. And guys, now that they killed Malfurion and Ming, is there any chance for the red team to save this game? The answer to this is obviously no. This is Granit in just perfect fashion, showcasing how strong they are, what a difference there is currently in the level of play, even against such experienced veterans as we're finding on the side of the Vikings. They go for the core, they take it. This is an easy lead for the team in blue. Well played as they take game number 1 in the best of 3 series here at the semi-final of the HeroesHype Premier series. GG and well played. Infernal Shrines, game number 2, everybody. The Vikings pretty much got wrecked by Granit Gaming on the last map. Now we have map number 2 coming up, and obviously Granit would love to make this a quick 2-0. That would actually finish the day for them. They would move on to the grand final and then play tomorrow. The last thing that they want is a 3-mapper. It's a little bit different for us, actually. We would love to have a 3-mapper here. But let's see if the Vikings can actually pull that off. If not, they're going to find themselves in the 3rd place decider again. Which isn't too horrible. You still want to get points, obviously, for the ranking in these qualifiers, so that you can play in the big playoffs then. As Mark is playing on the other side, and this is Infernal Shrines. We're actually having Mephisto banned again. There's the Zarya ban right off the bat, so there's no shield plays this time. Still could see Vala, though. And honestly, if the Vikings don't go into a Vala first pick, I can already guarantee you that we're going to see Vala from Granit Gaming, unless they're banning it out right now. I would be shocked if Vala doesn't make it into the first rotations. The hero is fantastic, and Infernal Shrines is an incredible map for Vala. So, well, let's see what the ban is. Chen is obviously up still, has been banned a lot today. And there's the Tacita ban. So a little bit of a soft ban against the double support setup, since Zarya has been banned out too. And now the big choice on the first pick. Is it going to be like a Tyrael again, Malfurion, or will we see that Vala that I just talked about? Personally, I think Vala is great right now, but they go into Malfurion. Smexy actually locking it in. Is Smexy shifting in support? Could be the case, unless they obviously use the swap round later to move him away from this. So far, he hasn't played support today yet. But are we going to see that Vala now in the first rotation for Granit Gaming? ETC can still be played here too, and again, it's a flex pick for them, but not a pick that you have to go for on this map. There's a lot of good choices. And there's Leo. And Mal'Ganis! Okay, no Vala in the first rotation. Are we going to see her before the ban phase? It's actually interesting that they commit to that front line that heavily early on. And Leoric taken, he's obviously great for the map. You get with the Skeleton Swing just so much when you're fighting on the Shrine. You slow down the opponent, you dish out the damage, you help with the wave clear and minions that you pick up. And Lauba loves his Mal'Ganis setup too. Now that Malfurion is in. No Vala. No Vala, no multi-shot builds yet for the damage output there. Reyna taken by Marke, back hold on Tyrael, maybe even Blaze. Could see also Granit Gaming move away from that Vala pick a little bit and more so go into majors. I mean, we still have Gul'dan available on the map. Jaina is still up. So most of the time you're going to have the two of them are looking at damage dealers, I suppose. Junkrat also in if you want to play around with Junkrat. Nice push from outside. And there's a Gul'dan ban. Yeah, Gul'dan gets banned out. So no Horrify. No setup with that. And the Sergeant Hammer ban against Tai. Yeah, he played that hammer already quite a bit and with great success here. But still, there's other auto attackers out that he could still take, that he could still go for. We could see Qhira again. And, well, what are they going to go for? With this... They played Vala without double support, so that's still an option. But it seems like they're going down a different path here. Rhaegar, there she is. A little bit later than I expected her. I honestly expected her to make a much earlier appearance, but Vala is in. Vala, Rhaegar, Lightning Shield, very likely this time the Hot Pursuit multi-shot hybrid build from Chris, as he plays the same hero again. But for the opponent, with Tyrael as the frontliner, what are we going to see from Wubby? Last time they played Blaze together in this setup and I really liked it, but is it going to be the same? Yes. Goes for Blaze again, and there's the Junkrat pick that we already talked about a bit earlier. Qhira has played this in the past a lot for the team, so it seems like Smexy is actually going to stay on Malfurion here. And, well, with that, what are we going to see from Tai? Tai still needs a little bit of damage, and there is a lot of mages that he could actually play. I mean, he played Orphea in the past, we've seen him on... And he picks his Zeratul. Not banned, and even on Infernal Shrines he says like, okay, if you don't ban out my Zeratul, I'm sure going to show you who's boss. So guys, we're going to go into Infernal Shrines. We have Zeratul by Tai and Vala by Chris. This should be a good one. So let's head straight in and see if Granit Gaming can take the 2-0 victory. Game number 2, Granit Gaming is in the lead. The map is Infernal Shrines, and we have on the left side in blue Henning on Rhaegar, Copenhagen on Leoric. We're currently seeing Lauba on Mal'Ganis, Chris on Vala, and Tai on Zeratul. Towards the right side, the Vikings, down one map in the best of 3 series with Backhold on Tyrael again, Maka on Reyna. We have Wubby on Blaze, Smexy on Malfurion, and Gia is playing Junkrat in game number 2. Time to shine for the team in red and see what they can pull off here. As expected, Chris is deviating away from the build he's used in the last game. Everybody on a money pick with the exception of Maka and Smexy. That's disappointing from the two, but the rest riding in style here. We're currently having also the Shadow Hunter taken as a level 1 quest again for Tai. I mean, he literally played this entire build before Blizzard made the changes to Wormhole on level 7 already. So he is one of the players that was incredibly happy when Blizzard changed Zeratul, because he said like, great, I'm the only one who plays that build so far anyways. Now you even buffed it. Thank you very much. I'll take that. And we'll see how much he can do on Zeratul in this game. Usually he is highly effective on Zeratul. So it's going to be interesting for sure. So towards the top, that's where we're seeing our 1 versus 1 with Leoric, played by Copenhagen, and Wubby on Blaze. Bit of a fight in the middle though, a nice isolation against Henning, and that was nearly a kill there. Henning rushing away, and Chris still shooting from the back here. Shooting right from the hip. This game is going to be pretty spicy once we have level 10 abilities. I mean, I want to see how much Tai can contribute with Zeratul when it comes to the mid and the late game in particular. It should be pretty epic. His Zeratul is one of the most banned heroes against Granit Gaming for a very good reason. Tai has... I mean, honestly, Tai had a couple of games with Zeratul where he was definitely shut down by the opponent's team. If you're going up against Granit Gaming and you don't ban Zeratul, you expect them to pick him eventually. So most players are aware of the impact that Tai can have. But it's kind of crazy to see how oftentimes he single-handedly just destroyed an opponent's team. So sometimes teams are just coordinating well enough to shut him down whenever he makes an approach, which puts obviously even more pressure onto him. Doesn't make his job any easier, but I want to see how this game pans out, because we could see a lot of tools against him. I mean, talk about Malfurion, for example. A Twilight Dream executed against Zeratul can oftentimes lead to a quick death of the melee assassin, and in addition to that, we're having Sanctification plus Blaze with Bunker. Also, of course, the stuns that can come out. It's not going to be easy for Tai by any means, but he has shown himself to be one of the best Zeratul players, if not the best Zeratul player that we have in 2019 at least. So, now with that said, we're having Punishment on level 4, Might of Sargeras taken, again the Psionic Strength here. But pretty much the standard when it comes to talents. Kneel Peasant for Leo, sometimes a deviation away, especially with Consume Vitality to also go into the Ghastly Reach. But outside of that, normal builds for Jimmy now too, with a Fight or Flight, and the first shrine is activating. We're early on in the game, camps are taken by both teams. So far, no kill. Lauba still sitting tight in the middle. And, well, let's see what they're gonna be able to pull off here, especially when we're looking towards Granit Gaming, who might need a little bit longer in order to arrive in this game, considering the lineup. Zeratul has already moved down to the bottom of the map. They're hoping for an early level 7 maybe. But they're stealing a few of those minion stacks away. But they won't be able to get too many. Now Chris is already shooting away, but has to be careful. Junkrat is trying to control the space as much as he can. Zeratul is moving in. Leo is arriving as well. Starting to get ready for this fight. Lauba again moving around this. Junkrat so far not making any plays for that, but always keeping the threat level up. Level 7 isn't there yet, and it seems like they're going to yield the first Punisher. They're gonna let this one go. Chris is instead trying to get some value against the wall and drops the tower to half HP, but there's the level 7. Decent for the defense as the Mortar Punisher is moving through. Now we're having actually Wormhole taken. Yeah, I haven't seen that in a while. Seek and the Dark is oftentimes the preferred build now, but Wormhole still being played. Now that talent got obviously nerfed, so there is now a period in which Zeratul is going to be vulnerable every single time he makes the play, and that's something that changes the playstyle on the hero drastically at that. So you need to be way more careful. Coming from the Warcraft 3 scene, pretty much Zeratul got the Blade Master treatment. Punisher's already down. They're still seeing Lero with an attempt at a slow, but no kill yet. No kill in the game. Bit of pressure against Maka, but that's about it. Zeratul isn't here, but he's coming. Might be able to make a slight play here. Gets actually caught for just a second. Moves in, quick cleave, and moves out immediately. Once the cooldown is ready, immediately gets away from this one. But Lauba, he is in trouble. And that forces Henning to also drop the healing totem here, since there was more and more pressure onto him. Especially with the setup of Jimmy, we're now also having the Swift Retribution, so whenever he's close, that additional attack speed that Jimmy has is going to make him even more of a pain. Just like the entire time, one auto attack after another. And even without the stacking on level 1, that is painful if you're one of the frontliners. But it's obviously the minion control that the teams are going for again. They need to. Trying to get those mercenary camps. And everybody's down here. Blaze is actually thinking about rotating in too. But with Junkrat and his displacement, they're not going for this. Chris is just firing as much as he can, keeping his distance and making sure that no one is getting close enough to him to really lock him down here. But there we have it. That's the quest completed. That's the cooldown reduction now for Tai. That's going to be a big one. Junkrat just laughing like an idiot again. God, I love the sounds of that hero. Ah, nice penetrating round. The second Lauba is trying to move in. Jimmy is there and says, not on my watch. Get the hell out of there. Every single time with a good poke. But level 10 is close. Level 10 is very, very close for Granit. And this is still a game without a single kill. We're 6 minutes in and we haven't seen a kill yet. And once the level 10 abilities are in, then we're really talking. There's so much threat potential then from both teams. In this case, obviously, a little bit of a different setup for Granit. Going into the Reign of Vengeance, here's the Might of Nerazim. We're having also Entomb and the Ancestral. Whereas on the other side, Bunker and Sanctification are given. Riptire as well. The only question is really what is Mexi going to take. Normally you would say Tranquility, but you're going up against the Zeratul setup. And if Zeratul makes his play and you anticipate it, you see him coming and you get the Twilight Dream through, he is pretty much dead. So that would be a fantastic talent also to take for Smexy if they feel that they have enough survivability with a double layered defense of Sanctification and the Bunker. You do not need Tranquility here. You can definitely play around that. And that's a choice that Smexy has to make, and he goes into the Twilight Dream. He has it, which is going to make the life of Tai on Zeratul much, much harder. He needs to be more careful. Sniffing out what's happening over here as we are having the Shrine announced. Both of the teams are making the play for the Shaman camp before they're heading towards the bot lane, but this is the first big fight that we have on level 10 abilities, and this should be leading the way a little bit for one team or another. We're gonna get that lead now. And Lauba is there a bit quicker, and it is an Arcane Punisher. He is an Arcane Punisher, so this one is going to hurt. But there's Leo on the way from the top. Zeratul is moving in too, and both the teams are setting up shop on the temple, on the shrine. Here comes the setup against Tyrael as they're trying to get a bit of damage in. Zeratul still sharking around the edges, looking for an opportunity to get some extra damage in. Wubby keeping him at bay though, needs a heal, and Henning will be very, very happy to supply this one. But Tai is still under pressure. Riptire is coming in. He's trying to get some damage. He's actually waiting to sniff that out. Oh, and gets a triple hit. The Ancestral, perfect. But they're still low. Great bunker from Wubby to save himself on Tyrael. But Smexy goes down, and so does Tyrael himself. Yep, the kill against Tai at least comes through, but that might not be enough as Muck is now also falling. It's a triple baby. As 3 go down, they make it a quad kill. The Arcane Punisher claimed by Wubby though. Nicely done by Wubby. 3 heroes are down, and he realizes if they lose the Punisher as well, they are in deep shit. So instead, he goes in, sacrifices himself, and claims the final remaining stacks that they need in order to at least win the objective. So he goes down 2, but he takes the objective away of their opponent. Very well done here by him. 4 kills against 1 now, 13 against 12, so an entire level lead. But a lot worse was prevented by Blaze with that last-ditch attempt to go in. 13 talents give us now also the mending strikes here. And we're having in the mid lane already the red team assembling again as they are attempting to push back and also obviously try to get level 13 right now. Chris trying to finish what he started earlier and attempting to drop that final tower at the bot lane. Takes 1 down. As we're having Zeratul dealing with the mid lane and getting the experience there. So Tai is making his own plays. 13 soon going to be ready for both teams, but the level lead that we have for Granit Gaming is still holding true. So yeah, they're doing well with that. Looking at the damage output, we're seeing 11,000 for Zeratul, 21,000 for Chris as the range damage dealer. He's definitely doing his job. Reyna is close. He himself has 20,000. But Zeratul is still looking for that backline kill the entire time here. Trying for opportunities to get some additional damage in. At the bottom of the map in the meantime, the wall has been destroyed. So that's a bit of an advantage that we now have for Granit Gaming in terms of structures as well. There's not a single fort that has fallen yet. Not a single fort so far. Yeah, but here comes again the setup against maybe Maka. Oh, and he survives. Good Twilight Dream. Blaze also came in from the side with another jet propulsion, so that definitely helped. No doubting that. Morganis with the ult as he moves through. Carrion Swarm for him. Tries to go for the setup again. And I gotta say, Henning is actually really killing it on Rhaegar. The Ancestrals that we've seen throughout the entire game, and also the entire tournament, have been amazing. And in addition to that, he also has perfect positioning for those healing wards, getting good value out of them and making it difficult for the opponent to move in to get the single hit in to destroy them. So now we're having the rallying cry again. Sword of Justice for Tyrael, who is also... Oh, Tyrael was always a little bit of a pretentious dick. I mean, he is righteous as hell, that guy. It's actually kind of ridiculous. And just look at the talent mix that guy has. Ooh, Qhira in trouble. Justice for all, bound by law, swift retribution, sword of justice. I mean, where's my puke bucket? Seriously. Gotta read through that talent. You're like already that I have that. Yeah, it's like. So definitely a little bit pretentious, a little bit like Imperius. Imperius walks through that, and yeah. So 16 is in, and that is going to also complete the build, at least for now, for Zeratul. And in this case, we're having with the Master Warblade. We're also having Manticore, by the way, for Vala, so even more damage against the front line, and that means Blaze and Tyrael in particular. They're coming in. Zeratul is also on the way. Can get to set the game up with Might of the Nerisy, maybe, but yeah, not quite. Yeah, setting everything up for the Shrine, but just look at the situation that we're in right now. Vikings are down to talent again. 16 is ready, and that's a game changer for a lot of the heroes. I mean, 16 was always fantastic. The synergy with the totem on Rhaegar is just great. Has the Earthgrass totem right now, and that alone pretty much guarantees you another stun. Royal Focus is in as well, so that is incredible value for them. And this should be an easy win for Granit Gaming on the Shrine. And at this point, the Vikings are just trying to see if they can maybe poke on the edges a little bit, isolate a hero, get a kill. And as they realize that's not going to happen anytime soon, they already move away from it and start to focus onto the lanes again to get some experience and hopefully get level 16 for the defense of the keep, since the fort is going to be a foregone conclusion. Fort is going to get wrecked for sure. Pai himself also bot lane. I mean, they're not gonna lose anything here. This is the cool thing about Granit Gaming. They really just, they take care of all the bases that they need to cover. And now at the top, 17 nearly ready. Again, 16 is going to be crucial. They're trying to go for the play right now. Wubby already on the run. He's not the only one. Qhira can, of course, speed them up a little bit, but there we go. Fort is going to be destroyed, whereas Zeratul is still making the rotation. Middle bot lane the entire time. Experience, experience, experience. And that indicates they don't want to go for the keep itself. They're going to make the rotation to the middle, maybe to the bot lane, trying to get another fort here. But that's going to be it. They are making the play for the late game. They're just saying, guys, we don't need the keep right now. It's unlikely to happen, but we can enlarge that lead in experience a little bit. Maybe drop the forts at the middle and bot lane, and then play with level 20 for the next objective and really try and take them down there. So they take the bottom fort. They have put a bit of pressure onto the one in the middle. They're still trying to get the fight here, as the camp was stolen away from them. But 16 is now ready on both sides, and that allows for the Vikings to have a chance at fighting. Now, one of the things I want to still highlight is, I talked about it earlier, but I still want to point it out once more. Vala has not gone into the Frost Shot, so it is Manticore, which is definitely going to up the damage of Vala a lot when she really homes in on a hero. But it allows for a little bit less control during these fights, which is going to be sometimes a nuisance, and the poke is not going to be as great. Tai with the first setup. And Tai is playing this so careful. In and out the entire time. Goes in, gets the cooldown reduction, gets a hit. Wormholes away again. That's the play that we're seeing the entire time. I mean, he's trying to move around the corner again. They could go in, but the Entomb misses. Sanctification and the bunker are layered though, and that's a problem. Twilight Dream against Lauber. Lauber, the Ancestral is there again. Every time Henning is making the play, and this time Tyrell is down. He's looking for the value, and he finds it against Lauber and Henning, but it's not enough to get counter kills here. Bunker and Sanctification not timed properly at this point, and yeah, the plays are just there. Granit Gaming has 5 kills against 1 now, and they play a very, very good game, strategically speaking here. They're doing incredibly well right now. So at this point, we're having the mid lane attacked now too, after they already dropped the force on the top and on the bot lane. But the defense is there, they're trying, and Tai is in trouble. He barely gets out, just as we're seeing the jet propulsion coming in from Wubby. Was soaked by Lauber though, who immediately went into the path of it. 41,000 damage from Chris at this point, 36,000 from Reyna. 19k for Zeratul, still waiting for those chances to drop the backline. But he is just a threat that has also to be considered by the Vikings. I mean, again, it's not only about Tai just looking for kills and then getting them. Him being on the map and playing this so safe makes it really difficult for the Vikings when they try to go out and chase a target down. Since if they abandon the backline too much, we could see that approach by Zeratul to get a quick kill against Junkrat or Malfurion. So he's just keeping the threat level up the entire time. And that's important as well. So for now, Zeratul is nearly found out here. Ooh, yeah, that's the vision though. So they didn't completely sniff him out. But just look at the experience. 19.5, and the Shrine has just been announced. He's gonna get another wave. Zeratul is gonna get another wave. They want 20. They want 20. Yep, he has the vision in the middle now. He knows where everybody is. He goes down to the bottom of the map, gets the cleave, uses even his ult for that. Might of the Nerazim just to get out as quickly as he possibly can, and he knows the cooldown will be up in time again. And with that, they are now about to hit the Storm Talons, and this is the perfect setup that it doesn't get any better. You have every single fort eliminator on your opponent's side, the fountains are down 2, and you get level 20 just as the objective spawns. I mean, what else could you ask for? Game changer, buried alive, I mean already. Farflight Quiver in conjunction with Manticore, fuck yeah. They're going to rock this completely. Twilight falls now as well, and the Storm Shield. I mean, they're just taking the map at this point and nobody can stop them. Fight for this, they can do that any day. Yeah, Leo isn't here, but Leo can come over whenever he needs to, and that's exactly where he's headed now. And you can't fight if you're the Vikings. You cannot even come close. If Leo comes in and entombs you, you are wrecked. And Wubby, well, he dodges the entomb. Did he dodge it? Was it Copenhagen missing it? The interesting part is that even if the tomb doesn't hit for a second, it just silences around the entomb too. So, yep. They're gonna take this either way, but obviously important is also that entomb is gonna be up by the time that the Punisher is gonna make it in. That's another one. They still have that tool available for themselves here. And mid lane is already getting pressured. And let's face it, the Vikings are nowhere near getting level 20. They're more than an entire level behind. The camp is doing value. At the top is going to break through here. At the bottom they're coming in. It's 8 seconds for the M2 to be back online. It's time to get buried alive, baby. There we go. They start to move in again. And they want the keep. They want more than one keep. They are hoping for the game here. And Koman is looking for an Entomb. If he gets any, that should be a kill. Keep at the top lane is going to be attacked soon. The one in the middle is already falling. And the Punisher is jumping into, yeah, the transition top side right now. Trying to go for keep number 2. And with 2 taken down, that's all that they need to do there. At this point, Granit Gaming is just showing how good they are. Top class right there. They're bringing their A game. They're taking the Vikings seriously. They're not memeing around here. They're taking this completely serious. They're not yielding an inch. They're just playing slowly and meticulously. At no point do they just YOLO into the fight, no matter how far they are ahead. They're just saying, guys, okay, let's give them the respect that they deserve and make sure that we're not faltering at any point. Let's not make any mistakes. Let's take them down when we can. Tai comes in, gets a little bit of damage in, moves out. The rest of the team is still there. Where's the buried alive? Are they going for it? They have a chance against Wubby, but he gets out, at least for now. Set up against Tyrael, and there's the buried alive against 2. The blocks and the kill. There they go. Blaze, Tyrael, and Malfurion down. It's a triple, baby, as they go for the core. They want the 2-0. They get the 2-0. Granit Gaming moving to the grand final of the HeroesHype Premier Series once again here in this third tournament. Nicely done by them. A 2-0 victory over the Vikings, who now drop into the third place decider. Hey guys, thanks for watching today's video, and I hope that you enjoyed the match and the commentary. The remaining time of the video has been added to protect against spoilers caused by the length of the video itself. But please keep in mind, though, that this does not only mean more work for me, but also has a negative impact on the popularity of the videos and the channel because of YouTube's algorithms. It would be greatly appreciated if you'd consider supporting the channel and help me to continue the daily esports coverage by clicking the join button below the video or supporting me through the Patreon page linked in the video description. Thanks a lot for the support, and see you guys next time.